It's your Sleepy Scott back with a new video of what if Hiccup was a Dragon King. Last time we left off, Hiccup was basically fixing up like a tail almost for a dragon, a tail and a tail wing. Not a tail wing, a tail flap to help the steer get out of move. As Hiccup also had a meeting with his parents and his brothers. As his brothers basically his brothers were Hamish was very nice, very kind, trying to figure out stuff, actually how to bring Hiccup into this and trying to understand how things can work with Hiccup in this way. But Hubert, that's the first brother, was just trying to get him out of it as physically possible. As Stoic was basically trying to he didn't trust Hiccup in the sort of way of his other son, saying that he maybe not have the right experience and all this stuff, as they basically had ideas of food shortages and dragon attacks and all that stuff. As in the end, Stoic basically ordered Hiccup to do dragon school. Hiccup basically said, if you can get a person who can fucking do my job and clean up my house when I'm gone and do all the shit that I do normally, yeah, I'll go to dragon school. But before you can get that shit, and I can respect that decision, fuck off. Basically, in that consent, as he realizes what he had to do, he went into the he realized that he forgot something to do. Went home, grabbed the tail, and basically reattached it. It almost looked like when he was reattaching it, the tail became skin, and the tail fin became skin, like something in his body made this thing back to sentient, back to living. As that's where we left off last time, let's just start the video. As we start the video with Hiccup waking up from a kind of a long nap, as it took him longer than he thought to go back into the forest and get the dragon and reattach all the things and reheal them. So he's basically taking a short nap before he it's still in the middle of the night, so it's a little bit later, so it's around 8 o'clock-ish. But he's taking a short hour nap before he has to go back to work and fix all the weapons that he has to do, and a couple other things before he finishes all that, and then goes back to bed and goes completely to sleep. As Hiccup hears a knock at his door, as he's already slowly going to REM, so he's like, what the fuck? As he crawls out, as he's like, oh fuck, you better be a brave motherfucker if you must knock on my door at this time. As he opens the door and he sees Astrid. As he's like, oh. As he looks at her in her eyes and just says, doesn't even say a thing, grabs the door, slowly starts shutting, as Astrid puts a boot right before it shuts, and he's like, Astrid, you know my shop closes at 7, right? Says, yeah, you weren't here. Well, I put a notice that I would be closed for today, mostly, but because of a family matter. Yeah, kind of figured. As he's like, you want something fixed, don't you? Yep. Dragon school? Dragon school. As he's like, fuck you. What the hell is going on here? As he opens the door and he sees Astrid with one axe, kind of like the wooden piece has been shattered, and it almost looks like the actual blade part of itself is super dulled. As he has a sword that is completely dulled, like someone was smashing this against a rock or something. And she also has a shield that half of it was it looked like half of it was burned off. As Hiccup looks at all this shit and he's like, "What is this? I'll pay you good. You're supposed to, but goddamn, what the fuck is this?" As he grabs the axe first, and he's like, "Cracked wood." And it's like, it's this is weak. Not even enough to hold. As he like breaks the wood completely off, and he's like, "This is not even enough to hold like a normal anything." And he like rips the entire handle off the axe. As he's like, "Hand me the sword. Hand me." What the fuck? As like you can see almost chipped pieces and like pieces where like what the fuck was he slamming this against? Like what the hell? As like he sees the shield, is like, "Just use that for firewood." As he hand me that for firewood or something. As he grabs it, as he's like "That's, I'll make you a new one. What the fuck is this? God damn." As he's like, as he starts ripping off like the pieces of like this. He's basically ripping off like the metal piece in the middle of the shield. That's basically just there for mostly impact damage, but nothing really important. As he's like, he just starts ripping apart the shield. He's like, some parts of it is still pretty good, like the metal part in the shield is dented, but is not like fully there yet. As Hiccup is like, "What the fuck did someone do to this thing?" As he's like, as Astrid's like, "It was my grandfather's. He fought, I don't know, 200, 300 dragons before he died." He's like, "Yeah, I can see it." As he's like, he looking at this just worn down material, just worn down. As he's like, "Astrid, this is like not even war equipment. This is like I'm trying to maybe kill a small child." As he's like, "Yeah, that's why I'm paying you." It's like, "I don't know." Oh God. As it's like, "With what exactly? Uh, Last time you paid me barely enough. This time, what are you gonna pay me with?" As Astrid looks at her in his eyes, and he's like, "Physical labor, physical. You want me to basically get you a job, to pay me the amount of money it takes to sharpen all these things and do all the stuff?" As Astrid looks at him and says, "Yeah. You work tomorrow." As Astrid looks at him, like kind of surprised almost in this way, and he's like, "You work tomorrow, but you stay out there." As he points to like almost like another shop, he's like, it's almost like the business center, like where all the customers come to. Your customer management. You write down the orders. You write down what they want. You write down the problem of the sword or the weapon, and then you give me the weapon, and I'll fix it. You do not come into this area unless I tell you to." As Astrid's like nodding her head, like, "Yeah, get it, big boss." And he says, You're starting maybe today too." If you, as he like pulls apart this sword, as he's like, it just complete, like the handle itself just crumbles almost, and he's like, "The fuck is this? The fuck is this is awful." As he's like, "I want you just go. I'll come back morning, bright and early, 8 o'clock, okay?" As Astrid nods her head and says, "Just don't try to change it." He's like, "Change what?" "The blade, the sword, and the shield and all that stuff. I want the same design." As Hiccup looks at her and says, as like the half piece of shield that he hasn't burned yet. He's like, or not gonna burn. He's like, I'll try my best. Okay. I'm not saying it's gonna be the straight same design. I have different designs than most other artisans, but I will try my best to keep it that way. As Hiccup looks at Astrid, as Astrid's like, I'll see you tomorrow. See you too after this fucking mess. As he grabs the sword and just starts hammering and is starting to heat up the blade again, just to finally curve it and to fix all the metal pieces that is just chipped completely off. As Astrid's like, okay, I'll see you tomorrow. And she walks out as you just hear boom, 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 as Astrid walks down to the actual village, and you hear just banging sounds of the hammer against like the sword. As I don't know if I did a basic description, but the basic description is Hiccup's house is like above a hill, almost in this sense, where like he's basically on the mountaintops, and like a nice easy stream comes down. And he's not really near no one else, and he's like a good. How far should I? How far is his like house? It's like a good half mile, kind of. Not even like. Half mile from the actual village. So it's a good walk and a good jog from his normal house to the village. So if he wants to get any of his stuff, he gets in the morning, and then he brings it up and he has it for the rest of the day. As you, for the entire night, all the villagers, like, he's so far away because of the banging noises. He was closer to the city and it was easier for him, but most people go to bed, even in like the roughest sense, 11 o'clock or 11 o'clock their time. Sometimes Hiccup doesn't go to sleep and just fixes stuff. Now, a lot of the people were grateful for that. They were like, yes, do that. But the people who lived next to Hiccup and the people who, also, wanted to sleep, was not so grateful and wanted Hiccup to go to bed because they wanted to sleep. But Hiccup had to do a duty and he had to do a job and he wanted to be paid. I'm not gonna lie. As Hiccup just hammers the entire night away. I just realized when I said that there's some fixes all the materials that he has the entire time he has as he fixes all. He has like 4 swords, he fixes all of them. He had 2 axes, he's fixed all of them. He had like a couple shields that he fixed all of those too. As it was like 4 o'clock in the morning when he finished all of that stuff, and he's just like, as he takes he just falls asleep, he just passes out. As he wakes up like 8 o'clock with Astrid knocking on the door. She's like, oh, what the fuck? Who's the bright man in the sky? As he just hears Astrid like yelling, Hiccup! Bang! Hiccup! Hiccup! And like Hiccup's like, motherfucker. He like opens the door and he's just like, shut up. As Astrid's like, you said bright and early 8 o'clock. When I mean bright and early 8 o'clock, I mean you go to work at 8 o'clock. I sleep until 8:15. As you see just burn like grease marks just all over his body. Like he never had time to shower, he just went straight to bed. As he like, Oh yeah. 1 second. As he grabs Astrid's shield, sword, and axe. And he says, now, customers are going to be coming new. Old customers are going to be coming in. The orders, as he gives him like a list of all like the weapons and the people who own the weapons, he says, cross off the list and give me the other list, and then I'll work on those. And then if any other people write a new list, write the people's names, the weapon, the problem, and all the stuff, okay? As Astrid's like, yeah, I get it. As Astrid looks at him and says, did you sleep last night? He's like 4 hours, maybe, I don't know. Like, maybe 6, maybe, actually, no, I slept like 6 hours. Is that even healthy? As he's like, I don't know anymore. As he's like, roughly maybe 6, maybe 2, I don't know. As he's like, as Astrid says, maybe you take another like 30 minutes to nap. As he's like, nah, I got this. I've done worse to my body. As Astrid picks him up completely, walks over to his bed, lays him down, and says, no, you sleep for a little bit. I'll just put all the weapons there, write down all the list. As he grabs like all the weapons that he has, and he's like, Astrid, I'm not tired. As Astrid looks at him in his eyes, and he's just like, bitch, please, get the fuck out of here. I know you're tired. As Astrid walks out, shutting the door and shutting all the blinds, as he falls asleep, dreaming of burning an entire city block down with his fire breath. As like he just dreams. Not actually doing that. That was a joke, but he dreams of flying. That's like his just major thing. He just dreams of flight. As that's where we're ending off the video. I hope you guys liked it. I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Also, you guys really fucking like what if Midoriya was Big Chill. So I was gonna do I'm gonna kind of do a totem pole kind of thing, where I'm gonna have 3 types of Ben 10 aliens. It's going to be, god damn it, there's a spider in my room, sorry, it's fucking freaked me out. I just saw it ran by. It didn't pay rent. But I'm gonna do a kind of a totem pole thing, where next video, whoever comments the most, or if anyone comments the most on what if Midoriya was Big Chill on any of the 3 aliens, that is the next video of what I'm doing on which one of the aliens after all of the rest goes. So I'm not gonna have it full out, but I know it's going to be Swamp Fire, probably Forearms, and maybe Diamond Head. And I may change those up a little bit, but there's going to be a 3. So if anyone else like wants to vote on that, comment down below on what if Midoriya was Big Chill, on which alien you want next. See you guys later. Goodbye.